So yeah, good morning. Welcome everybody. I don't know what source you know that we have a demonstration here, but welcome. Some people are from YouTube, and some people are from Activity Guys, and some people are from our studio. Today I'm going to do the sodium silicate texture. Try to put the sodium silicate on top of the clay after I roll it, and then I use a torch to dry it a little bit, and then extract, stretch from inside so that you get the nice crackle texture. That would be something like this. First throw a cylinder, and then you stretch from inside without touching on the outside. And the clay, because of the sodium silicate, is bonding on the surface, and when you dry the sodium silicate, it got like a dry from those kind of a crack. So when you stretch it, you get this very nice texture. This is one of the sample here. This is on porcelain, and this one is on the red clay. It's T2 clay, and the same thing. But I put a little bit of texture beforehand. I was using the cheese cutter to get a texture first, and then I coat the sodium silicate over, and then stretch it so you see that vertical lines. That was from this cheese cutter. And this is not the plain cheese cutter. This is plain cheese cutter. I twist the some kind of a fishing wire on the line, so you get the wiggle kind of texture. And here is the different one. You got a larger one and a smaller one here. Depending on how close you kind of twist your fishing wire. So this is the T2 clay. And without glaze, just use the iron stand to coat it on the surface and just kind of lightly wipe it out far in the reduction to get this powder. And the same thing here on this one. It's also it's on porcelain on the iron stand. So you see the kind of yellowish color from the iron stand. I put it on and then use a sponge to wipe it out. Okay.
Should you ever do the stain on the clay before you put the sodium silicate in?
This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the slip. Okay. I have a white clay, and then I prepare the slip, brown slip. I coat it over and then put the sodium silicate.
And could you do it with either slip or stain? Or
yeah, you can use that either stain or slip. But for slip, it's easier to stick on the wet clay. Okay. But if you're going to use the stain, just make sure that your stain is going to stick on the wet clay.
Oh, it might brush back off.
Yeah. Stain is harder, but if you have slip, it will be easier. Okay. And some people do mix the slip with the sodium silicate, and you just brush one at just only one time. You don't need to brush 2 times. Okay. So you could do that too. And this one is also the red clay, but I glaze it, but it still shows the texture. So you can see the different effect and different result. Okay, this is with the glaze, and this is without the glaze. Okay. All right. This time I'm gonna throw a bit taller and without any texture, just using the plain sodium silicate. Because when you are getting all the texture, sometimes you stretch it. If you stretch too much, it's easy to get cracked. But with the plain surface, it will be okay.
Do we need to turn it off? It's on.
A hard clay?
Not at all.
No?
No.
Just a big hunk.
Yeah, it's big.
Okay.
Okay. No.
Do you have it perfectly centered when you start opening it?
You have to,
Okay.
but sometimes I don't.
Yeah, I was wondering if you do. I know we should, but
Because I can always adjust it after I open the hole. Yeah, I'm assuming you all know how to center and lift up.
But you have such a different technique for doing it.
Yeah, my way of lifting it up is usually people seen it before. People use a knuckle sponge, but I using my thumb to lift it up. But in my country, I was from Taiwan, and almost everybody throws this way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's not unusual.
You have your right hand inside and your left outside.
Not really. The way the wheel is spinning,
Same thing.
yeah,
Oh,
you always
okay.
have to have your left hand
Always have
inside.
it.
Yes.
Are you left-handed?
No. I'm really bad with lefts and rights, and he's sitting in the opposite direction. So yeah, you're right. That is. the left
Yeah, I guess
side.
the wheel is spinning, so you have to work on this side.
Yeah.
If your wheel is spinning clockwise, then like most of the Japanese, they work on this side, and they put the right hand on the inside. So it's a matter. It doesn't matter. Not all the Japanese are left-handed or right-handed. Yeah. It's how you get used to it and how you teach. How your teacher teach you. Right, so try to remove the throwing mark. Because the bottom wasn't, I think there's an air bubble there. That's why you see that it's not quite even there. So I try to ignore it. But now I could just trim it off. So now I have a straight cylinder. to remove the slip. So when I'm coating the sodium silicate, it will be easier. The surface is a little bit drier. That's why I'm using whip to remove the slip. Alright, so now again. Oh well, my brush is a little dirty. Let me wash it. Just wash it. I don't need this one anymore. Again, the sodium silicate. If you want to have a little bit of room for you to close it up, you don't need to brush all the sodium silicate up to the very top. You can leave a little bit there, so your clay will be wet. You will be able to close it if you wanted to. Okay, so why? Yeah, that's why I want to get the texture like that. Yes. If you want to get the texture, then you have to coat it.
Put a real heavy coat with silicone.
Well, I just brush enough. When you see the surface is shiny, that's enough. Up to here. And again, you want to dry it. To be able to get the crackle surface, the texture, you have to dry, okay? Dry the surface. So the sodium silicate is kind of bound in it, and then when you stretch it, the sodium silicate starts to crack. That's why. That's how you get the texture out of the sodium silicate.
You don't have a torch, you can just let it dry on its own for a while.
Excuse me?
You don't have a torch, you can just let it dry on its own for a while.
I wouldn't do that because when it dry, the inside also dry.
Oh, okay.
So the idea of getting the texture is you want the outside dry, but the inside still wet, so you will be able to stretch it. So yeah, you have to force it dry. You can use a hair dryer if you don't have it, or you are afraid of a torch. You can use a hair dryer.
serious?
I am afraid of the torch.
You are afraid of a torch?
I am afraid of the torch.
Yeah. So yeah, use a hair dryer. Okay.
A hair dryer.
It's scary.
So you can use a heat gun. It's a very powerful heating device.
But you have the torch available here in your studio as well?
Yeah, we have a torch available here in the studio.
Are you drying it to a point where you no longer have the shine?
Yeah, actually, yeah, you want to do that. But I don't have much time, so I'm just. If it's not a totally dry, that's okay. We got variations. We got a larger crackle. We got smaller crackle. It's beautiful too. It's just when you are stretching it, you have to go slowly. My arm is gonna touch to the side, so I want to be slippery. Okay, so we start to push out. And you can see the clay start to get the texture, the crackle texture. This is the first stretch. You get to see the beginning of the crackle.
Just stretched it once.
And you can see my hand is moving quite slow. So this is the second stretch.
Is there such a thing where the clay is of a different color so the cracks themselves are a different color?
Not really. No, it's the matter of how much of the sodium silicate you put it on.
Like if you wanted the cracks itself not to be that dark color, if you wanted it, for example, to be gold or red, the cracks themselves glaze on top of that.
You could do that.
Yeah.
You can do that?
You
Do an oxide wash.
Yeah. After the fixed fire,
Yeah.
and then you brush it and then rub it off the outside, the bulky out,
Yeah.
and then you glaze it.
There are different colors of oxide wash you can get at the
Yeah, it's kind of
Clay
like
Planet.
this one.
Okay.
Yeah, you could do after.
Yeah, you could do after. That's why if you have a white clay, you got many different choices. Because you could put a green, you could put a blue, or you could even put the glaze over
and wash.
and wash it
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
That way you have more choice because the glaze color, whatever you want to choose.
Mhm.
It's interesting how it cracks horizontally too.
Is that from the rib?
But,
The horizontal lines.
yeah, it's from the rib, yes.
Here's a rib horizontal. It's not. I don't know. So it's not.
Well, I'm stretching it. You see that before I stretch it, I put a slip. So when I'm stretching it, I keep on grabbing all the slip on the bottom and put it on the wall. Otherwise, it would be too much friction.
Yeah, you were throwing your slip in there. when
Yes.
you were-
Yeah, with your finger.
Yeah, I removed it from there and put it there. So it's slippery. Yeah, you want to do that when it's slippery.
If one were to mess up at this point, could you reuse this clay or not?
Well, I probably will not.
I tried one time. We use those those clay. It's very easy. You will not. You cannot throw with it, but you can hand build it.
Oh,
Hand build is okay.
Oh.
But throwing is very hard.
no.
Is it lumpy probably? Is it lumpy? Is that why?
It not hold together.
Okay. The next question is, where do you sell these?
Where do I sell?
Yeah.
I sell it through the online store. There's an online store called Etsy,
Oh, okay.
ETSY, Etsy. And also we have a fair, like in July we have ACTA in downtown, in Palo Alto Art Center. And we also have the Ultra Valley Guild. It's also in Palo Alto. It's going to be in November.
And we're having a sale here,
Yeah, we're going to have a sale in Sunnyvale here. Yeah,
first weekend in December.
that's first weekend of December. So yeah. But yeah, people look on online site, online store through Etsy. I stretch here, you can see the difference. I didn't get any crackle here.
Okay.
Stretch here. I like hold it right over here. You see the crackle line stop right here. And here I didn't put any sodium silicate, so I didn't get a crackle line. So you can see the difference. So the thing, you want to make some kind of vase like that. First you just throw a straight up cylinder and then coat it with the sodium silicate and just slowly, gradually stretch from the inside. You got your crackle line and also you got your foam. A little bit more here. So when you're stretching it, okay, my vision is looking through that curve, the far side, so I know which spot it needs to stretch more, so I apply more pressure on the inside. Like here, I could stretch it a bit more, so my finger goes to there and stretch it a bit.
When you're pushing out, your hand always come up. Have you ever tried to go?
He
Oh,
just
I
went
did. I
down.
just did.
It just went down.
Yeah, from here and then I push
All
down.
the way down.
Yeah,
Nice.
not all the way down, but
To the
yeah,
waist.
yeah. So I think the
Thank you.
foam is fine.
That looks good.
And then I still have quite a bit of clay. I could close it. Before I do that, there's not much slip left over because I use most of them on the inside of the wall.
You never use any sponges.
No, you see that I show you my tools here. I didn't have any sponge.
Oh,
What? I don't know. I don't know how to use sponge. Except for clean up my
You
hands.
use the sponge when you throw?
No, never. I don't know how to use the sponge to throw.
I don't either. Here we come carting
why?
things full of stuff.
Any extra fluid, because I can't feel the clay.
Now I leave enough clay on the rim, on the top, so I could close it in. Okay.
Did
So
you name
this-
that yet? You call it the claw method or the spider hand?
Yeah. Well, some people say it's a crawl. It's a 5 points. Okay, usually these people show the 6
Yeah.
points. Yeah. This is 6 points.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oops, it's a lift. Use the metal rib to smooth the shoulder here before I close it further.
The purpose you use the rib right now is just shape it or
Yeah, to
compress
get
it?
the shoulder smooth. So that I have a contrast, smooth and rough, and to get this curve in. I cut it over here.
Right. How do you solve that problem?
How I solve the problem? Just solve the problem
Press it in.
by compressing it. So there's a natural curve here. I'm using the curve. My roof. Get a nice curve here.
Do you leave this neck a little bit thicker than the body?
What?
Do you leave this neck part is a little thicker than the body?
Well, yeah, it's kind of a bit closer the form and then go so a little bit, yeah, wider. It's not thick though, but yeah, it's just wider.
No, this is pretty thin. Wow.
So I didn't even cut any piece of clay from the rim.